Thanks for staying with us. So, you know, Thursdays are our gisting days. We love to talk about family, life, marriage, the whole lifestyle. And today we bumped into a story online which caught our attention. So there was a man who calls himself the Most High Chief, sent to put out a message on X. He said, only men are capable of going to the lowest places and pick a woman without a future, care for her, give her a life of purpose, and marry her. Women are incapable of doing this. Ask them, and you will hear, I want a rich man. In a nutshell, lots of women don't want to start with a man, nurture him, fund him, help him. They want a man who is already at least semi-established enough to take care of them. But men are always willing to pick up somebody who may not have any job, but willing to care for them and turn them into a successful woman. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree? And there was another message which we'll go back into a bit later, but what are your general thoughts on this thinking? You can call us on 081 076 41679, 090 241 Also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourView TVC so we can read the tweets. All right, who'd like to go first? Nima, go ahead.
There are many reasons why men marry women. And the reasons why women marry men are not the same exactly. So men marry for pleasure. When a man is broke, he wants a woman. When a man is rich, he goes for a woman, an accessory. When a man wants to marry, he wants a woman that would stay there. So you can go to the lowest of the low and pick one for control. It's me who, you know now, the one that you call daddy, why you dare not call them anything else. You know, you put them in their place. They call you yes sir, yes
Lord,
ma'am.
Lord.
You call them Lord. You don't dispute. You know, we did the topic was when one politician's wife sued him to court. And I said the approach of that kind of man is not what she's using. You need to learn it. You know, there are men like that. But there are also men who marry women they respect. So this matter that he's talking about is not necessarily general. But why do women marry men? Women marry men they want to look up to, someone who they want to. It's not necessarily about money. Most of us here now, we did not marry our husbands in the beginning wealthy. We are now enjoying it. We have worked for it. Most women in our generation then, the way we were taught is that if you marry somebody, you now build together, then you deserve what you get. But women have now found out that they are built with man. The man will now go and marry somebody that did not deserve to reward. So women are no longer doing it now. Well, let me cry my cry inside ACO. Let me cry it inside Jeep. You know, the thing has changed. You cannot just sit down from that is only perspective and say that thing correctly. Okay. If you ask other women, or if you was talking about wealthy, well-to-do women, the fear is to marry someone who is gold digging. Where is the respect? What else can the man show that is a man if it's not money in our climb? So what exactly would you expect?
Okay, let me come to you.
I did a video on social media about 3 weeks, a month ago actually, just about a month ago. I was in Benin and I asked the question that, what else would you give a woman who does not need your money? Because the way African men are wired is to provide. Yeah. They get their masculine, they get their energy, they get their feeling of, I'm a man, I'm a provider. So when a man cannot provide, when a man's money is no longer required in a relationship, African men tend to feel emasculated. They tend to feel like, so what use am I in this space? And the question generated a lot of reply. And it is relevant to this particular topic because we know the way men are. If a man is not providing, he doesn't feel like he's adding value. And so women would not want to be in that situation where I'm having to manage the man's ego. I'm having to downplay myself just so that the man will look good and feel good. And there's a lot of drama I'm dealing with on my own to now have to deal with an insecure man. And until we address that part, we address the fact that everything that makes a man feel big is what he has. Very few men are like Mr. Brown, who will say, it doesn't matter about what I have, I am the man. If we can raise more men with that mindset, we would have more happy marriages. We will have less conversation around who has more money. But we'll be thinking more about the core value of what each person is bringing into the relationship, values and virtues. But for today, what men see is, I want a woman I can control, and a woman is saying, I want a man that can provide for me. In that match, is a match made in heaven for African marriages. When you swap it, you have crisis in African marriages.
Okay.
African marriages are really unique. Yeah, we cannot use the template of what is obtainable in those Western worlds to, bring it here. The people that have tried it, the women don't find it very funny, and they end up drained. But I would say that, like Nima rightly said, we marry for different reasons, right? The man's job, the man takes up his responsibility when he wants to pick a wife. And his job is to be the visionary of the home. His job is to be the provider, the protector of the home. And so in being a visionary and a provider and a protector, you want the weaker person who would submit to your authority and to your provision. And so when they want to pick, they are not, except for, I've seen a few men these days, it's really changing very fast now, who would go for women who have more because they don't want, in fact, they are in their feminine energy as far as I'm concerned. They don't want to be stressed with the way their fathers were stressed. They just want to sit down, eat the woman's money. Yes, a few men are like that now. But normally, the man will want to, pick from a place where the person would look up, the person would respect, the person would, like, even in the scripture, it said, and Sarah called Abraham Lord. That's Lord and Master. Lord, they did not mention Master. Lord, don't confuse me. So that is how the man wants. So if I come to this pool and I see that from this place, this girl can stay in my house, this girl will listen to me, this girl will do my bidding, will do what I say, will not have friends that will come and confuse her, I would go for that, right? But when a woman wants to choose, the woman will choose based on, can I get security from this person? Can this person's broad shoulder cover me if anything happens? That's what we reason when we pick. And even though we didn't marry people who had money at the time we met them, we looked at some potentials that they had. We looked at, can this man share the 5 naira that he has? Can he protect me? Yeah. Can he stand for me? Can he defend me outside? And that was what informed our picking who we picked. So we can't place 2 of them together. Men would always pick from the pool because sometimes the people at their level, they cannot control those people. They cannot talk to those people the way they want to talk to someone who they have picked up.
When a woman who is successful tries to date a man who is not as successful, maybe maybe he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have anything. People frown on that, saying that, why are you going lower than him? Because she's willing to respect him, regardless of the money. Because maybe but society doesn't always agree with the woman marrying to that level, and they always condemn such acts.
So it is, the African, going back to the African marriage system, and in the biblical marriage system, you're supposed to submit, respect, honor your husband. It is easier to respect and submit to a man that is richer than you, older than you, and more confident. It's easier because this is obviously, you senior me with age, you get money, like you take everything past me. It's easier for a woman to align with the system and the status quo when the man has more. It becomes a bit more, it requires a lot more intelligence for a woman to be able to say that I have every other thing more than you, but I submit to you as the man. And very few men are able to deal with that pattern. Very few men are able to believe that a woman can be in that space. So I hear many Nigerian men that don't have a lot of money, they will not near a woman that has money because they already assume she cannot be submissive. If a woman has money, she will not submit. If a woman has money, she will be aggressive. If a woman has money, she will not listen to me. And because of that, they will stay clear of those that have money. It is easier for a man to dominate a woman that is looking up to you for everything. If you are giving me money for pants and bra, give me money for pad. If you want to buy matches, you are giving me money. So obviously, if I'm going to meet somebody that's giving me that kind of money, I'll be subservient. I would be very humble, and that will make a man feel like the Lord and Master. So because of that dynamic, we rarely see that opposite in terms of a woman a man marrying somebody that is richer, or a woman, and a woman does not pick. So it really, at the end of the day, women don't pick. Every proverb, every statement says that we are the fish. The fishermen, they come and pick us.
So there's also a response I have to the society.
Okay, I have a call. Let me come to you in a minute. Good morning. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. I'm happy with the ongoing topic. The issue here is this. The woman in Islam is not meant to be a property you acquire. This part of the world we are in is a man's world, whether we like it or not. My sister Nima dear will bear me witness. Whatever a woman has is her own. 100% care of a woman should come from the husband. Islamically, you should be man enough to take care of a woman before you venture into marriage. Then I pray our upcoming youth, women, should always have it at the back of their mind that whatever a man is saying as at the point of marrying you is just to get hold of you, whatever empty promises. Prepare your mind that anything can happen in the marriage. Then always have God at the center pole of your relationship. The moment you have all this, then no woman should go into a marriage as a liability. You will never be respected in that marriage, come what may. Except you are marrying a man that has the fear of Almighty.
An angel.
Then look at the background the woman is coming from. Look at the background the man too is coming from. Because there are places where women have no place at all. It's just the grace of God. Otherwise, there are places in this our country. A woman, the moment you are giving out, you have no say in your family. You enter into another family, you are a wife. No respect either way.
Thank you very much, Aisha. You're going to say something.
So I was going to talk about, when society asks, why when a woman marries down, society asks her, why did you marry down? So some of the issues that has followed such experiences in the past is why people have termed it what it is. Is a situation of a burning wood on dried leaves. If you're a well-to-do woman and you decide to marry down, some of the experiences will be that you would go down because of control. You are termed a disrespectful woman if you try to build such a man. If you try to insist on a man having his own, if you try to insist on him doing better, if you pressure him, you'll be like, she's choking me. Such interpretation is why they will ask you, Kuku, marry somebody that is at your level, so that you at least continue in your empowerment of yourself and do better for yourself than to marry down and go down. I know women who in Islam have decided that no, it's an holy thing. So in Islam, we are entitled to our dowry fully, a woman, not her family. It's called mar. It's not dowry as the African term would be. The bride price. It's not the bride price, it's dowry. It belongs to the woman. And some women will now come at the wedding, they'll say, no, you should just read me a verse of the Quran. I say, God forbid it.
You collected
Yes, I carry Quran. Thank you very much. Give me my money. Because it is supposed to be something that is of your reward. It is not something that you use to determine, to show your holiness or righteousness to God. I don't know why people thought, let me just do it for free, and deny yourself the blessing that God has ensured for you, and to prove any point.
Let me take this call. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, Ibrahim.
I was listening to you on the discussion. Actually, where I would like us to start from is in African context, or maybe in Nigeria, let's get it down. In Nigerian context, what do we expect from the men or the husband? What do we expect from the wife? Because we are all trained in a certain way. A man should do this. And the men fell in line. Even the mothers will train you that way. They will train the men that way. And they train the women in particular in what they should hope for. So if we want to change, to modern society, maybe we should try and redefine what marriage should look like.
How are we changing it?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Let me go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
So you asked why society frowns on women who marry down. Society will frown because so far so good. It hasn't worked out most of the time, based on the stories we've seen. I think the woman is naturally wired to nurture, and that nurturing will come from an environment where there's someone who is stronger in giving, putting down the rules and guidelines and vision of what this family should be, and the woman can relax in her place and nurture the man, nurture the home, nurture the kids, and all of that. Now, when women leave that nurturing role or add to the nurturing role by providing, there's something that it does to a woman's brain. At some point, you become a man. And this is not on the physical level. This is on the energetical level. You become a man, and then you start, you know, we can't have two captains in one boat. You all of a sudden become a captain, and it becomes difficult to now listen to the husband. It becomes difficult to take what the husband is saying. And society has seen that this, especially in our culture here, this is not working for us. So, Auntie, it's better you marry someone who is higher than you so that you can settle into your nurturing role, and then you become the helpmeet, you become the neck, you know. But when you take up his position, or you are dragging that position, and that's why if you look at the Western world, everybody wants to copy. There is no, they will tell you we are partners in this marriage. We're not partners in African marriage. Let us tell ourselves the truth. If my husband wants to go somewhere now, he will just tell me, inform me, baby, I have a retreat. I'll be back to so and so and all of that. I help him pack his bag and all that. Let me try that. That's Morayo is hanging out with the ladies. And I just inform, baby, I'm packing my bag. I'm hanging out with Morayo. I'm coming back. You did not tell me. When did we have this conversation? When did we? We are not equal. And that's how it's been working. It works for our parents. That is what our culture is. So let's be careful of wishing for everything the Western world is, you know, cherry picking. Because at the end of the day,
let me take this call.
It happens in their own place.
Take this call. Good morning, Yemi. You're live. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, ladies. How are
Morning,
you?
sir. Very well.
Yeah, the topic you're handling today is very, very interesting. And there seems to be a lot of problems, conceptions about marriage. If we're really going to enjoy marriage, we need to trace the root of the marriage. The phone I'm holding presently has a manual. And if I really want to enjoy this phone, I must follow the manual.
Yeah.
The root of marriage is God. God has specific templates we must follow when it comes to marriage. And if we follow this template, there will be issues. The problem we are having today is that we want to redefine marriage according to ourselves. I think get the same place that God promised us. It will never happen. Even when you look at the Western world, where husband and wife are called the partners, we know the role they play by each are different. For instance, in the Western world, it's 50-50. The bills and everything.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in Africa. Very few women want to do that in Africa.
All right.
In marriage, there are rules. As a man, as a woman, the template in the scripture, whether in the Holy Quran, whether in the Bible. If we follow that, there won't be issues.
Okay.
But with these things according to aristocracy, and you accept that please, you will never have it.
Thank you very much. Let me take this message from Mr. Ikenga Ezenwegbu. He's speaking to Anambra women. Let's be in fairness to him, so let us not generalize. However, I would like to hear from Anambra women to please call in this morning. Hopefully in response, we'll try to speak on your behalf this morning. But he was saying, mothers of Anambra ladies of marriageable age, advise your daughters to dress less expensively and to be moderate in lifestyle to attract responsible Anambra husbands. Anambra suitors check a lot of things, including maintenance costs. And I'll link that to why he went on to say a good girl of marriageable age may have been pricing herself out of the market by always dressing to kill, riding in the best of cars, living alone in a tastefully furnished apartment in a world where suitors and their moms feel somehow towards such ladies. Dear ladies, what do you think goes on in the mind of prospective suitors when you always look so expensive, drive expensive cars, and live alone in an expensive apartment? So,
Reminds
this
me
is
of
a man.
My G Sholowo. When I see the babe, I look at the hair, 500 and something thousand. I look at the shoe, 1 million naira. I look at the wristwatch, 500,000. I look at the phone, 2 point something, iPhone 15 Pro Max. By the time I look at you, I look at my account. I look at you again. I look at my account. The man will just carry himself and carry his 2 legs and walk away to where he will have peace. So, because a man looking at somebody that You are just going out. Every day I see you,
Fully
it's like
packaged.
10 million, 20 million. And I look at my account as a man. And you will respect
But doesn't mean that
yourself.
you don't have low confidence. You don't have enough self-esteem. The kind of confidence a man needs to approach any
There is
woman.
something called hunt and kill.
The truth of
the
this
size of the fish determines the price. When I know I have 2,000 naira and I go to point and kill, I see that very long one.
You will run away.
I will not go there because I know that if I point at it, they kill this one for me is
7,000.
10,000. So I will go to the one that looks like my pocket, 2,000, and I will point at it. That is the reality of these men, because the men know their responsibility is to take care of a woman. I cannot see a woman that is wearing bone straight, is bomb length of 1 million naira, and now marry her and tell her be wearing bob. Because you saw her before you married her.
Let me hear, I think I have a call. I want to hear Nima. Good morning. Ade from London. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning, Morayo. You can't be waiting.
Sorry, sir.
On your new role as the managing director.
Thank you, sir. TVC Entertainment. Thank you, sir.
I have an entertainment yet. I have a different view. I used to live in Kano before I travel out, and I live inside the city. I never for one day see them quarrel with their wife. So I so much like the way they live. You understand?
Yeah.
So in coming to South here, if you want to replicate that, the best women to marry are called in Yoruba, Morayo. You can interpret that. Those are the best women to marry. When you marry such women, you won't have any problem. Either you are rich or poor, it doesn't matter. As long as you marry a lady called Morayo. So,
That's my own. What about
Don't say no.
Cannot, anyhow you see.
Morayo. So that when husbands talk, they yes, sir.
Yes,
No
sir.
argument. But in the head, that is why a woman cannot live in their parents' home without husband who have respect. But we give them the respect. So you should idolize us. So I'm sure all of you will agree with me. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Nima, let me come to you.
So my Nigogo we to as my Lord pleases.
As my Lord
you,
pleases.
my darling Lord. So I was going to you're taking me back. I forgot what I wanted to respond to a tweet. Someone had said we were diverting from this topic. That the question was, can a rich woman go down and pick a man who is nobody and marry him and make him somebody? But that's not true. Women marry down every time, and women pay dearly for that.
Thank you.
The highest percentage pay dearly for that. That's why Nollywood even do the movies. Everybody talk the stories of how women have married down and how women have paid dearly through their ears and nose for it. But on this topic that this man talked about and the women living in high houses, we don't want to face this truth. We are not ready for the truth of this thing. The reality is that usually, as Tokwe said, you check your maintenance power to see the girl you want to marry. And it is the sunnah of the Prophet to not marry a woman from a well-to-do background and force her to come and understay. If you meet her wearing lace in her father's house, can you buy lace? It's not that when she now you'll not be judging her. You are not a domesticated woman. You are not a kinikon woman. And we see it is so much in society for us to come to comment session and be paying lip service to it as if it's not the truth. Women pay dearly for the status they have and the choices they make in marriage if they do it anyhow. So it's something they do deliberately to avoid certain stories that touch.
Let me take this call. Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Hello?
Morning, sir.
How are you?
Very well.
I always enjoy your program.
Thank you, sir.
But when it comes to marriage, marriage is the best thing that happened to mankind. Unfortunately, honestly speaking, many people misplace it. Because I must confess to you that you need to be patient and get the right person. When you have the right person, you know, most of the time the woman is the minister of home affairs. You know, the woman ain't nothing like the woman. The minister of home affairs. If you allow the woman to be in charge of home, then, you know, things is going to work out right. But unfortunately, a lot of times, we misplace men. Every man is not the same, and their background is quite different. Everybody's, you know, is different, you know, and that is the reason why we cannot just say man. No. I see differently. My wife is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Wow.
Because I am confessing to you today that, you know, she has brought so much light into my life. She's the one that knows my account number. She's the one in charge.
Wow.
And the man, I'm telling you the truth today, that I'm enjoying my life in a very wonderful way.
Right. All right,
sweet.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Denuga. Let's go back to this conversation because there are lots of young people, the number man, because the talk was trying to also help us understand, should women realistically dress down in order not to seem too expensive or less attractive to a responsible man? Because I want to dress like 10 million naira, but I don't want a man to run away from me.
Okay, so I think I want to break down the dispensation where this mindset arose from. What this Anambra man has said concerning Anambra ladies is true generally. It's not just, in fact, he said the minds of many men that I know and how they will look at you and quickly calculate what you have and ask themselves, can I afford this, right? That's the mindset most men, especially in some generations, like the older generations. Even in our own generation, we had things like that where I remember there was a time when I started working, my mom got me upset and I was upset. I said I wanted to move out and get my own place. And my guy was like, please don't. He begged them. He said, please, you are not getting your own place. You are going to stay here. You will marry from here and you will go. Because the mindset at the time is that anybody who is, any woman who is able to do some work. So there's something flawed about that mindset, which I want to break down.
Yeah.
Most men do not believe that a woman can have a certain amount of money without the influence of other men. No matter how hardworking you are.
Hey.
No, that's something that I have noticed. Even if they don't spell it out, they imply it. There is in the subconscious that there must be a man behind that is bankrolling you. You cannot. Even in your husband's house, we know how hardworking we are on this table. People will still look at me and say, you are eating your husband's money. So the one that I am working is not money that is worthy to be eaten, right? Even the in-laws will say the same thing. So it's the mindset, it's in the mindset of many men that there's no woman that will get to a particular height, especially if she's single and she's making so much money that there is no fire from behind that is pumping. Absolutely. And so when they calculate you and they rate you, that's what is in their mind that
they can't
for
compete.
You to afford this kind of car, stay in this kind of house, wear this kind of wristwatch, there must be a man. And aside from the work that I'm telling you, their mindset,
if that
this
is
man
true.
did not lie. So let me finish. This man did not lie. That is the mindset of many men. However, I'm also realizing that the younger generation, our Gen Zs and the millennials. No, not we are millennials. Our own babies. Our Gen Zs and the alphas, our own children. Their generation is different because of some of the things that they have seen. So their generation will likely, because they understand the kind of work they do and the kind of money that they make by themselves. Both
they won't have that problem.
They won't have that problem. But we had that problem because our men in their head, you don't get how you want to pay that kind of house rent.
Let me let you jump
somebody's not supporting you.
Let me let you jump in.
I'm not disagreeing with the tweet from that man. He's correct. But not all. Usually what we see where women have their own money is a southern thing. Up north, you can have money from your family. Inheritance. You can be from a family and the man knows that your worth is, no, I cannot treat this one anyhow. But here, when there's no trail,
where the money is coming from.
When there's no trail, if you're the MD of TBC Entertainment, for instance, of course you are at a position where you can afford certain luxuries. When a man is coming to you, there's pedigree. It's not that you're wearing the air you cannot afford, sit at the restaurant you cannot afford, drive the car you cannot explain, and you expect a man not to think twice about what you have. If there's there is no point. There will be no questioning. And up north, when a woman drives the car she cannot seem to afford, she will come from the background of a family that can afford to give it to her. It also happens here. So usually it's about trail. Also, when a man is looking at it, when an Anambra man is talking, he's talking about what his responsibilities and expectations are. It's not, if you marry from certain areas, you marry the woman. You are the responsibility of the younger brother will never go to school, the younger sister will never chop, the father that is retired. It's on you. So when a man like that is coming and seeing the taste of the girl, you'll be asking, where will I start from? And their mothers, even if the man was in love, the mother will open inside, maintenance cost. What can you afford? So the reality of this thing is many. We have not even started on it.
You're very correct. Let me come in here because I've shared this story experience. When I was getting married, not too long, I think it was not too long, it was 2009. I met my husband 2010. 2009, I got a brand new Prado Jeep. Brand new tear-up Cha-Cha as an official car from High TV then. I brought it home. I was very excited, but my mom was worried. My mom's sister was worried. Single girl, you'll be driving around town with Prado. She was just like, I'm happy for you, but are you sure you'll not be taking your own car? Because she didn't want me to be going around in that kind of vehicle. She just felt that it was too much. And when I met my husband, I used to talk about Triple J. There's this guy, he's going to kill me. I've actually said before, he had this really old car, like inside the car, like you sit down, you see the floor. And we used to call it Triple J. The car was very old and raggedy. And he would come to my house in confidence to pick me up to take. I would enter his car. Leave the Prado. We enter his car. On terminal bridge, I am seeing the hole on the floor. We enter the car. And he'll be smiling, and there's no AC. He's lying down. And he'll be smiling and gisting. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I could have been in an air-conditioned car, you know? But we'll be in the car, but eventually, but sometimes he will drive the car with confidence. It's his own car, it's my own car. He doesn't. So sometimes about confidence, just like you said, even though, yes, you have this kind of success, because I know I can trace your family, I know where you're coming, I can see your mother, I can trace you. I won't be intimidated, because I also know where I'm coming from. So as much as I hear the parts of some women, you can't trace where they're coming from. Maybe you don't get threatened. But some other women, you know their family. You can find who they are.
It's about the suspicion of a man.
Family. I'm saying that.
No, I was
as in your education.
Suspicion of a man sponsoring
Yes.
you. A woman who looks all the wealth, but she cannot say, I do this for a living. You just see her looking on point every day. Of course, somebody has to be maintaining that course. If the father
don't necessarily,
she can maintain it by herself.
That's the point she's making.
She can maintain it by herself, but we always assume that she's not able to maintain it herself.
If she has a job, as a business,
am I going to be showing my receipts
let me
to the world?
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.